what your favourite farming sim brand says about you. John Deere. You are the type of person who thinks they are always right, never wrong, and everybody should follow your lead. You believe that you are the leader that never was. You splash your cash. You're the kind of guy that would tip heavily just to try and look better than everybody else. You're all about appearances and not really about function or form. You are all about your status. You believe that everybody should be looking up to you and you should be looking down on them. If you like a John Deere, you are probably a little bit deluded in that feature, but you believe it with all of your might, soul, and everything. You have a confidence that is truly not deserved, and yet you don't care because you drive a John Deere. Case IH. If your favourite brand is a Case, then you are mighty and dependable until you're not. And when you're not, you are the biggest crybaby, most expensive to take care of, the most tiresome, and the most bewildering. How somebody of such a stature, who has such grace and power, can become such a toddler when ill is beyond fathomable. You like to have the strongest engine in the room. You like to make your point well known, and you like to let your work speak for itself. However, you're a perfectionist, and as a result, you will work way too hard, ignore all responsibilities other than the thing you're currently focusing on, at the detriment to your health and relationships. Do not mind paying above the odds for something that you could probably have got a little bit cheaper. To you, if you have to barter or bargain, then it's not worth it. If you're not paying top dollar, you're not getting top crock. If you are a Case admirer, you like things that are fiery and passionate, and yet you appear cold and stoic. For a Case owner, it is all about the underneath. What you don't show, what you don't allow to be seen, that really matters. You keep your cards close to your chest and you play your hand very, very cautiously. This is not a compliment because it is at the detriment to all of your relationships, familial, friendships, working relationships, or other. You take on the world by yourself because you do not believe in the reliability of other people. If you're a Case owner, you're a lone wolf. Challenger. You are the quirky friend of the group. You're the one that always tries to be wacky just to be accepted. Nobody really quite understands you or the style you've chosen, but they like you anyway. They keep you around for a little bit of light entertainment. If you own a Challenger, you are the first one to jump up and volunteer for anything that might be a little bit dangerous or a little bit unsafe. You do this not because you are perfectly equipped for the job, but you feel that if you don't, your friends won't like you anymore. If you're a Challenger owner, you are the first one to put yourself at risk, the last one to take health and safety into account, and you will do anything to be accepted. You are the kind of guy that will be hazed and be happy about it just because it means that at least they like you. You need to realize that just being you is enough. Just because everybody else drives a John Deere and you drive a quirky little Challenger does not mean that you are any less valid. Class or Claas. If your favorite brand is a Claas, then you like to be bigger, bolder, better than everybody else in the room. You want all eyes on you at all times. You will have the loudest voice and probably the smallest brain. You really do believe bigger is better in every way. You will make sure that everybody sees you coming. From the bright colours on the machines themselves to the just sheer size of the vehicles and the machinery, you really do want everybody to know that you are coming. And this applies to you in real life as well as just on the farm. Claas are a statement, and so are you. You believe that you are the most vibrant life of the party, even though most other people think that you're a blithering idiot. If your favourite brand is a Claas, people are going to hear you coming before they see you, and they are not going to forget you easily. Deutz Fahr. If you are the owner of one of these tractors, then you are the embodiment of bigger, faster, stronger, smarter. Or at least that's how you'd like to perceive yourself. Unfortunately for you, everybody else perceives you as a pompous, showboating prick that they want nothing to do with. You are the classic one-upper. If Timmy jumps 5 feet, you just have to jump 6. If somebody runs a mile, you have to run 2 miles quicker and with less effort. You are constantly showboating and constantly trying to prove that you are literally better than everybody else when you're really not. You tend to do half the work and expect to be given double the credit. You will gallivant around like you are the king of the crop, only to be trodden down like the root vegetable you really are. If you're a Deutz Fahr owner, you are as complicated to work out as your name and equally as ugly as your tractors. Fendt fans are superficial and vain to the highest order. They will sacrifice power, reliability, punctuality, personality in favour of looking good. It doesn't matter how long it takes to do a job as long as they look good doing it. This vanity flows through to their real life existence, not for the real cost of actually being good. What I mean by this is that you can tell a Fendt driver from the fake Rolex, the cubic zirconia, fake diamonds littered across their body. They are the kind of people that will try and make an impression by how they dress, only to realise that they've got about as much personality as a 2x4 when you actually bother to talk to them. They will sacrifice getting a job done properly and on time because they don't care as long as they look good. They will swagger and swant around a building acting like they are the best looking thing there when they're really probably not. Now, that's not to say that Fendts themselves aren't good looking tractors. It's just that the people driving them think that they look as good as the tractor, when in actual fact they look like a wet flannel. Iseki. If Iseki is your favourite tractor brand, then you are just happy to be included. And it really doesn't matter what it is that you do, what they say to you, how they treat you. As long as you feel involved, you're pretty much happy. You are the token farmer. You are probably somebody there because of daddy or mummy who have the money and probably own the farm, and all of the other farmers just don't accept you, won't accept you, refuse to accept you. You will do anything to try and be accepted, and this will usually involve you doing something stupid, like taking on way more than you should. You can't really handle the weight of everything. You get very, very down and out because nobody seems to like you and you are constantly trying to prove yourself, and yet you will still try anyway. Then you put on a brave front. You will try and be happy and smiley and always accommodating, even though the fact that people really don't like you drives you absolutely insane from the inside out. It eats away at you like a disease, and yet you feel you have to turn up day in, day out just to prove your worth. If you're an Iseki driver, you need to start realizing what you're good at and really lean in on that to make the people respect you. JCB. Lovers of the JCB are disorganized to the extreme. They are tardy, rushed. Nobody really understands how they make it through their day to day. They rely on the speed of the JCB just to make it anywhere on time. They are constantly hauling ass, and as a result, the jobs that they do are rushed and unprofessional. If you own a JCB, the only reason why you go for such bright colors is so that people can move out of your way quick enough so that you can actually make it to the destination on time. Because Lord knows, if it wasn't for the speed and power of the JCB, you would always be late, you would never keep a job, and your farming career would be over. The maneuverability of the JCB comes in extra useful for the sheer amount of turns and neck-breaking maneuvers you have to do to get to your destination at all. You are constantly rushed, you speak at a speed faster than light, and the amount of coffee you consume just to stay awake is absurd and, quite frankly, worrying. If you're a JCB driver, we all worry about your health. We all worry about how you make it through the day to day, and we all wish that you would just take something a little less stressful. Kubota. If your favorite tractor is a Kubota, then you are desperate to be noticed. You will do anything and everything you can to try and stand out, even though you know damn well you're going to be looked over. You choose a Kubota because of the bright orange colours and the quirky bits on the wheels. You do this so that you can try and seem a bit edgy and that you're not as bland as plain pasta. Kubota tractors, whilst fairly decent, are somewhat easy to be forgotten, just like you. You go with a Kubota because you feel a kinship with the fact that you are looked over, ignored, passed by, and straight up talked over, just like the Kubota brand. Unfortunately, if you're a Kubota driver, you are so insignificant in the grand scheme of things that people probably wouldn't miss you if you were to disappear tomorrow. It's a shame, but unfortunately, if you're a Kubota owner, you are not really fit for anything at all, really. Landini. If you're a Landini owner, you are small, thin, very slight of foot, often called upon to get things that have dropped into drains and such because you're the only guy skinny enough to fit. You will eat a army's worth of food and yet put on only a couple of pounds. You are the envy of many people. You think that you're a bit of a player. You think that you're a bit of a ladies' man, when honestly most of them look at you and think you'd break you like a twig. Landini owners are fairly reliable. However, they are also incredibly scatty, incredibly scatterbrained, and are not the brightest tools in the shed. They are useful in that they are very agile. They can get places where most aren't. Incredibly light, just like their tractor counterparts. If you're a Landini owner, you don't really have much use outside of getting things done quickly and the smallest tasks that nobody else wants to do. If you're a Landini owner, you're a disappointment in every other area, and a lot of people don't really think you belong on the farm. Nobody really knows where to put you. Nobody really knows how to utilize you completely because you're not really built for it. You're eager and so you're there, but kind of flapping in the wind, really. You're not really meant for farming. If you're a Lindner driver, you are the farm's pretty boy. You put more time and effort into aesthetics than actually doing the job or doing it well. You are always late to everything because you are constantly messing with your hair, messing with your beard, making sure that your clothes are always pristine, even though you're on a farm and they're probably going to get mucky. On that note, you will keep your tractor away from any of those aforementioned mucky jobs, manure spreading, fertilizing, etc. You will spend more time washing your tractor than using it, and you will spend an ungodly amount on washing materials for your tractor. You pride your tractor and its appearance above all else, and you will always brag about how you won best in show. You pride being able to look good above being able to do the job, and this shows in your work ethic. Nobody likes it when a Lindner turns up because they know that all they're going to be doing is looking at the backside of a mirror. Reform R. If your favourite tractor brand is a Reform R, then you don't know what you are or where you belong. You kind of want to do many different things and yet fail at every single one of them. You kind of feel like you're a cool new edgy kid while still trying to remain to your core traditional values. You are messed up. You are new to the farming world and don't really know what your place is yet. If you're a Reform R, you try and do things that are way above your pay grade, do them badly, and then wonder why people shout at you. You are the new apprentice on the block. You are the guy that everybody just kind of throws around to the worst jobs possible, and you really do desperately hope for approval. If you're a Reform R driver, you just want to be accepted for who you truly are. Unfortunately, with the way that you are so scatterbrained, that's probably never going to happen. Rigi Trac. If your favourite tractor is a Rigi Trac, then you are a one-trick pony. You have one job to do on the farm and you do it bloody well. Unfortunately, if anything more adventurous or just different in general pops up, you're not the one to call. You'll be out of there so fast somebody will think that you've jumped in your buggy and gone for a race. On the note of that, just like your buggy, you're pretty agile, get into the tight spaces, and like I said, do that one job that you know how to do very, very well. You are the guy that they depend upon for that job, and unfortunately you are the only one that can do that job. As a result, if you ever have to take a sick day, you will get bombarded with messages left and right because nobody else can do what you do. You refuse to train your staff in the ways of what you do. You select your underdogs very, very precisely. Unfortunately, that is just a down part on the farm. Whilst being the only guy that can do his job really well is definitely a skill that is admirable, not willing to share that knowledge makes you sort of resented on the farm. People don't like working with you because of how up yourself you are over this one specific job, and unfortunately, you're really not very good at anything else. RostelMash. If your favourite brand is a RostelMash, you are the bargain hunters. You are the people that will go to the car boots every weekend, every second-hand sale you can get your hands on. You like value over efficiency. You like value over performance. If it's on sale, you're taking it. If it's on sale, it's automatically better than anything brand new. Doesn't matter whether it is battered, bruised, and unusable. Doesn't matter if it's slower than everything else. Doesn't matter if it's underpowered for its size. It's a bargain, and that's all you care about. You will take this bargain hunting to the extreme, where you will take one sock and a slipper over a full brand new pair because they're cheaper. Your clothes are tattered and torn but still wearable. Your shoes will have holes in them but you can get another few wears out of it. You are the kind of person that is so annoying to be around because you are so tight and stingy with your money that you can guarantee you'll never foot the bill. You'll always forget your wallet, or the only time you will pay is if it's at a bargain deal, a buffet, or there's been some sale on somewhere or a coupon. You are the most annoying person to be around because you can never truly have fun because you are always counting the pennies. If you're a RostelMash owner, you literally only want the best price you can get. Quality means nothing to you. Steyr. If you are a Steyr fan, you are stuck in the past. You are always complaining that you want things to go back to just how they used to be. You have nostalgia glasses on all the time, and you are constantly reminiscing about times gone by, even though they were objectively worse in every way. You refuse to try anything new, to be adventurous, or to just be a little bit more accepting of anything and everything that may indeed have a CPU in it. You believe that technology is taking over the world, and you will wear your tinfoil hat to try and protect you wherever possible. It doesn't matter that you get the jobs done 20 times slower because at least you're analog. At least you're not coming down with this whole digital age like the rest of the newfangled Gen Z. If you're a Steyr fan, then you are steadfast in your beliefs, even though your beliefs are backwards, wrong, and just generally moronic. Older isn't always better, and it's time you learned that. Versatile. If you're a Versatile fan, you believe bigger is better, just like the Claas owners. However, you are like the Claas from Wish. You get less features with the Versatile, and you make less of an impact. Although, can't be telling you that, can we? You like to stand out, you like to make sure that your presence is known. You will do that in any way possible, even if it requires destroying half the farm you're trying to cultivate. Just like the tractor, you wear outlandish and horrible colours. You stand out in a room from a mile away, but not for the right reasons. Just like the Claas from Wish, you do everything cheaply just to make out like you are something you're not. You will skimp and save where you can, including the fact, just like the tractor, that something that is as basic as a 3-point loader is not included as standard. You are not standard. You're anything but. When you walk on a farm, there is a collective groan, a collective sigh, as they know that the food is going to disappear, the land is going to get destroyed, and you're going to want all the credit for doing all of the work of everybody else. Volvo. If your favourite brand is a Volvo, then you are in the same league as the John Deere. You have an arrogance that is yet to be rivaled by anybody else in the space. Of course, unlike the John Deere, you have the credentials, the reliability, the technology, and the aptitude that means that you can actually stand by that arrogance. It means that people look up to you on the farm. People want to be you. People want to be like you. And John Deere's absolutely hate you. If you're a Volvo driver, you know that you can get the job done in good time, get the job done well, and get the job done efficiently. However, this is not without cost. You will spend above and beyond to get the job done, even if it means you're making a loss on the farm in general. While styling isn't always Volvo's best part, they do have an aptitude for aesthetics as well. They really are the jack of all trades, but instead of being the master of none, they master everything they try. Buhrer. If your favorite tractor is a Buhrer, then you are an old timer. You are the grandpa of the farm. You have more wealth and experience and knowledge than anybody else put together on the farm. It takes you a hell of a lot longer to get the job done, but you will get the job done, and it will be done well. People give you a lot of exceptions because of how much you know and how long you've been on the farm. It doesn't matter that your tractor is slow, underpowered, unable to do even the most basic of tasks these days. Everybody looks at you with a fondness anyway. People get excited when they see you coming along. They know they're going to get a cookie. However, ultimately, it is time to realize that you are past it. You're over the hill. You're done. You're out for the count. You are no longer suited to be on the farm. However, just like the tractor, you're old and stubborn, and so you will not give up that mantle easily. You will argue until the end of days that you can still do the same jobs as everybody else, even though deep down in your heart, you know you can't. If your favourite brand is a Massey Fergerson, then you believe that you are an old school, proper farmer. You are no nonsense. You are the kind of guy that would go to the pub and order an ale. You believe that you can fix anything with gaffer tape and nails, and you will run your tractor to the ground until there's nothing left, much like your relationship. If you own a Massey Fergerson, you believe you are a generational farmer. You believe that you have had farming in your blood, and there is nothing that you would rather do. You will convince yourself that farming is all that matters, even when there is something so much better and greener pastures just above the hill. You are the kind of person who is stubborn, bullheaded, and so immovable that people will often depend on you, just like you depend on your tractor. If you're a Massey Fergerson owner, you are probably one of the most reliable people that people know, until you're not. And when you're not, people will have to kick you to get you running again. McCormick tractor owners are as beige and as boring as the tractors themselves, deviating little from what they know, staying in their lane, and not daring to try anything different. They are the kind of person that will order the same thing from the takeaway after looking at the menu for a good hour. They will be on time, they will be punctual, but you will know exactly what they're going to say before they say it. You will know what they're wearing. You will know everything about them because they are predictable to a fault. Whether they're any good at the job is irrelevant. The fact is, you know that whether they're good at the job or not, you will be getting the same quality of work forever. If they start bad, they will remain bad. If they start good, they will remain good. There is no excitement, there's no zest, there's no spicy with McCormick owners. They know what they like, and they like what they know. They are boring to be around, but they are at least dependable. If you are a McCormick driver, you are steady and steadfast as a tree. New Holland. If you own a New Holland, you are the kind of bright and sunny person that darkens the shadow of every goddamn door just when you really don't need it. You are bright and vibrant, and you are a morning person. You love what you do. You love to make sure that everybody else knows that you love what you do. You are insufferable with how happy and vibrant, loving of life that you are when you drive around in your brightly coloured New Holland tractor. It goes beyond that because of the incredibly bright and shiny equipment that New Holland have, from harvesters to headers. People see you coming. They know you are coming. They dread that you are coming. They don't want your happy-go-lucky outlook on life. They just want to be left alone to wallow in self-despair. But you won't let them, because you are a New Holland driver and you love farming and you want everybody else to love it just as much as you do. You are accepting of everybody. You are generally nice and very personable. However, other farmers tend to just hate how much you gush over your farming equipment, your farm itself, and life in general. In short, if you're a New Holland driver, you are so incredibly happy that everybody else is pretty jealous. Valtra. If your favorite brand is a Valtra, you are a Jack Russell, and I will not hear otherwise. Your bark is much worse than your bite. You tend to like the overpowered things in very small packages. The Valtras, much like you, are lightweight and really ill-equipped to deal with anything heavy, be that emotional damage or otherwise. Valtra owners tend to sound off first because they are always having to defend their choices because other people outside of the realm of farming tend to know that they are terrible. Your decision making is as poor as your attitude towards life in general. If you own a Valtra, you are probably going to be the first one to sound off for a cause that you deem as lost. You are the underdog in every which way. You are so used to having to fight your corner that you get very nervous and apprehensive when given an opportunity that does not require a fight. You get very uncomfortable and you never relax because you are always on your hind legs ready to bark at your next attacker. Whilst Valtras might be very, very good tractors, at least on the outside, because everybody in the farming world knows that they really aren't equipped to deal with anything outside of pulling a tractor of bales, you are just constantly on the defensive, which is why you're also always tired. You're always tired because you're always doing double the work of everybody else just to try and prove yourself. If you are with a Valtra owner, I feel sorry for you. Being with somebody who is always on that defensive is equally as tiring. If you're a Valtra owner, you're a warrior. A warrior that isn't needed, but a warrior all the same. Zetor. Zetor owners are just like their tractor in that they overpromise and underperform. Slower than every other tractor in its power bracket, lighter than every other tractor in its power bracket, just as useless as every other tractor in its power bracket. These kind of guys are the people that will talk a big game, say how they will sign all the biggest contracts, get all the work done, and then turn up 20 minutes later without a clue in the world. They like to make out that they are intelligent when in actual fact they have less brain power than a collective gaggle of geese, and the tractors try too hard to look cool when underneath they're just massive geeks. If you're a Zetor owner, you are nothing but a disappointment, and people know that they're not going to get what they promised. They know that they're going to be disappointed and let down, and so as a result, they will only ever give you the smallest tasks on the farm. It's too important to let a Zetor owner anywhere near it.